How to get your company to stand out in a competitive market. If you've got a business, you want customers to find you, you want them to talk about you, you have to stand out and be different. And if you can't do it through your product because you're selling the same thing as everybody else, then you do it through the service. Provide exceptional service. Make people remember you. Make people feel like they're welcome and they're part of something. Give them an experience so they're going to go away from working with your business telling their friends, you have to go work with these guys. I got a question from one of my newsletter readers, Joseph, who manages a bank. He's a branch manager, and he asked me, how do I get more people to come to my branch instead of going to other banks or other branches? This is a great question because as a bank, you're selling the same product, right? Every bank sells the same product. They have the same accounts, same credit cards. Everything's the same. There's not a lot of difference between the banks. How you're going to stand out is through your service. So I want to tell you about 2 banks that I've used here in Toronto and why, and hopefully you can learn from that. And for everybody else watching, these are nuggets that you can use and apply to your business. Okay, the first is TD. So I do most of my banking at TD. A lot of the reason is because of this one branch that opened up next to my location. This was a test branch for them, and they give you an experience. Okay, when you walk into that branch, you feel special. It was a test pilot for them, and basically everyone is like a Walmart greeter there. You come in, they welcome you. You feel accepted. They remember your name. They ask you how you're doing. You feel like they care about you. Even if it's a little bit forced sometimes, you feel like they care about you. Okay? If there's any kind of lineup, the manager gets up from her chair and she comes to the front to start making that lineup move faster. Who does that? The manager often is just sitting there at the back doing their work. Here she comes to the front because she doesn't want people standing in line. Okay? They look for ways to help me. I have 8 or 9 different accounts with TD. And I went in recently and one of the guys who's at the front tells me, hey, this one account that you have, you're not doing as many transactions to it as you were before. You can actually downgrade it and save some money on it. Who does that? Who tells you to do that? Right? What bank would tell you to do that? Here's a way to spend less money with us. Right? Banks don't do that, but this branch does. And that's why I love these guys. Because I'm going to send them more accounts and way more business, and I leave wanting to tell everybody about this branch. When my friends tell me and they complain about their banks that they're working with, say, you know what? You got to go work with these guys. Go check them out. And they're worth switching banks for. You have people who've been lifelong clients with a certain bank. This is worth switching over because they get much better service. So, provide great service, okay? There's one other branch. So I had my mortgage with Bank of Montreal. And the one thing I loved about this Bank of Montreal branch is when you walked in, there were coffee and cookies. So if you're standing in line, I don't have to stand in line at TD, but Bank of Montreal, there's a line. You can grab a coffee and get some cookies, and it was just a nice touch. So they're finding their own way, even though I have to stand in line, they make that experience a little more enjoyable. So whatever your product is, if you can't stand out with your product, stand out with your service. Make it enjoyable to work with you. Give people a reason to talk about you. Your customers, they run busy lives, okay? We all have busy lives. We all have a million things going on. So for you to stand out and for them to want to talk about you, being good isn't enough. If you're just good with your service, then they're not going to slam you. They're not going to tell their friends, oh, what a crappy company this is. You have to be great. You have to wow them. You've got to stand out with something, go so over the top, over-deliver like crazy so that they can't wait to go tell their friends, oh my God, you got to go work at this branch. You got to take your business here. Because that's what I do with my TD branch. Now TD itself, I like their website. I like this one branch. Some of the other branches suck. You got to get to work, TD. You got to fix those branches. But I love the branch next to my office, and that's where I do my banking, and I tell all my friends to go. So provide great service so customers will want to talk about you. Believe. For those of you watching, like the video, please give it a thumbs up below. It always makes me want to do more for you. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think. You have a question, I'll make a video response for you. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you soon.